Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It's Barbara. Forgot to comb my hair. Oh my gosh, it is so gorgeous out here. I cannot tell you, but it was a miserable day yesterday. It poured rain. We got almost 8 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. We had a lake in our front yard. Dennis sucked about 60 gallons of water out of our basement. He was busy all night last night. I helped him some, but he did most of the work, to be honest with you. And it poured rain. So we had a lake in our front yard, which we don't have very often. We've only had it a couple of times since we moved here 20 years ago. So that tells you how much rain we got. We have a few limbs down. I don't know if you can see them from our ash tree that is not doing very well. It lost some of its leaves. My flowers blew down. Luckily the lime trees were fine, but yeah. But it is stunningly gorgeous out here. It's about 65 degrees. The sun is warm, so it's not too cool. It's breezy. OMG. So that's the state of affairs at the moment, and it's really pretty lovely. So poor Maisie, she gets blamed for everything. I don't even know how you justify this. So Pearl walks in the kitchen carrying one of Dennis's work gloves in her mouth, and Dennis starts yelling at Maisie, who's laying over in her bed in the other room minding her own business. I'm like, really? You're yelling at Maisie? Well, she's the one who usually takes them down. She probably took it outside, and that's where Pearl found it. As if Pearl has never taken anything that wasn't hers. I'm like, poor Maisie. Laying on the bed, minding her own business. He had no reason to think it was her other than his idea of her past history. So I felt like that was very unfair. Very unfair. Anyway. So I finished fringing this shawl yesterday, and it turned out really good. I think I'm going to keep it and take it with me when I go. Chrissy's leaving today to go up to State College later in the day, because the only thing they have to do today is check in the hotel. They're staying in the hotel overnight, and then things will start tomorrow. The tent gets delivered and all that stuff. So they'll be here for a while, and then they're off. The dogs are going to be so sad. I have been so happy with how well the 3 dogs have gotten along. Wicked's the cutest little thing, and he's got some hiding places where he can be safe. And so he gives them what for and tells them to leave him alone when he's got tired of it. But they're getting along really well. I've been really happy about it. I was a little worried, I have to admit. But it's working out really well. So anyway, they're leaving this afternoon to go up to State College, but I'm going to keep the shawl because I think I want to steam the fringe so that the fringe is straight, and I want to do a little video about my finished object, because I am intending to do a podcast very soon. And I forgot, I was supposed to be picking some pattern prizes, and I'll do that tomorrow. We still have people here. Dennis is still working on getting things organized from, oh, what a night he had with the water. So I will do that tomorrow and announce that I'm going to pick 2 pattern prizes for the Ode to Joy make-along for August. And now it's September, so I could have a bulkier yarn for the prize. But I could trade it out if somebody won the prize who didn't really use bulky yarn, so we could do that anyway. So anyway, I finished the fringe yesterday. The other thing that happened yesterday was I went to the dentist because I had this rough chip thing going on with my tooth that I assumed was my filling had started to disintegrate again for the umpteenth time. And so I told my dentist, I think we're just going to have a little maintenance plan for this filling. So when he looked at it, he said, it's not that tooth, it's a different tooth. So I was starting to disintegrate the top of my tooth. And remember yesterday I said I'm going to tell Bill to just make that tooth shorter because it's too tall anyway, and maybe that would help, and that's exactly what he did. I told him I told you guys that I was going to do that, and then I thought maybe I shouldn't be telling my dentist what to do, and he said, oh, you can tell me, that's fine, and that's what I'm doing. See, it still looks a little tall. The other thing he did is he said that my two front teeth were wearing in such a way that they're becoming, you know, like a wedge, like a sharp wedge, and he was afraid they would chip. So he sanded them down just a little bit just to get that sharp edge off the front. Isn't that funny? He said, do you want me to make that straighter? I'm like, no, that's what my teeth look like. Forget it. He's like, okay, that's good, fine with me. So I didn't get that little piece taken off. I'm like, no, they look like my teeth. He's like, okay. He's funny. And once again, he didn't charge me. I said, Bill, how are you going to make a living if you keep giving free dental work? And he's like, forget it. I'm so busy, I can barely stand it. Don't worry about me. I'm like, okay, I won't. Thank you. So anyway, it wasn't my filling, and he filed it down, and it feels great, and I think, and that should work, and I'm hoping that works out for the best, but it's gone, and now my tongue can rest. Ugh. So my job today is I sketched out the page about what I'm picturing the book would look like, and Christy approved my sketch. So I'm going to be working on that. I have some ideas. I don't know how energetic I'm going to be, but you know. The other thing I'm going to be doing is making bows with my Bow-Dabra. Okay, come on. Some of you have Bow-Dabras somewhere. I'm not the only one. I bought this Bow-Dabra almost 20 years ago. Not quite, because we've been in this house 20 years. And I think it was very soon after we moved here that I decided I was going to decorate with bows, and I bought a Bow-Dabra and tons of ribbon. But all my ribbon are kind of Christmassy because I decorated for Christmas with ribbon. But Christy bought ribbons, and she picked this style butterfly bow. So I'm going to be making some butterfly bows to use as decorations on the tent. Only a few of them, but these are very simple. I haven't started them yet, but so I'm going to be making bows, and I'm going to make the book, and I'm going to do at least a piece of my podcast, because I think my anniversary is September 10th for my podcast, and I'm pretty sure it's 5 years. In fact, I'm quite sure it's 5 years. So 5 years, yeah. But I haven't done a podcast in such a long time. As Chevy Rell says, it's been a minute. So I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do a podiversary podcast, but I want to make sure that I do a finished object conversation about the shawl. So I will keep it, and so I will do that video in the next couple days before I take the shawl on Saturday. So I'll do it either tonight or tomorrow. So I have it for a finished object because I actually knit something, and it turned out so nice. I'm really tickled with it. But I think I want to steam the fringe so it's nice and straight, and then I'll take some video of it at the wedding. Pictures of Christy in it, and she declined to model it since she hasn't had her shower yet. So we will wait for the wedding pictures with her wearing her shawl. But I think she's going to be able to use the shawl, and you know, and it'll be just enough. So I'm really excited, and I'm so happy that I made it. I enjoyed the knitting of it. You know, it was a gift of love, and I'm glad that I enjoyed it. And I was sitting there watching TV with her, and she was working on her bookshelf, and I have to admit I wasn't working on my bookshelf. I don't know if my bookshelf can be revived. I'm so behind. She was working on her bookshelf because she's not behind. She's been working on it without me, but I haven't been working on mine without her. That's the problem. But I sat there and I worked on my boxy, and I'm like, oh, let me just knit. So I just sat there and knitted like a knitter. I sat there and knit like a knitter. And I have a finished object, and I sat there and knit like a knitter, and it felt really good. So, And it's cool this morning. I'm wearing one of my Cell Gris by Claudia Eisenkalb. Claudia Eisenkalb. Elizabeth thinks I might work on my bookshelf in North Carolina. I will take it. I'll put it that way. I'll take it with me, but I'm actually got my eye on a lot of sketching and painting in North Carolina. It seems like a seascape kind of place would be a good place for a sketching vacation. That's what I'm thinking. I haven't been doing much sketching. I've been doing much of anything, and you know, so I'm thinking about that. Carol says 3 more sleeps till the wedding. It's crazy. Really? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yep, 3 more sleeps. But she's feeling very calm. She's got everything under control, and it's you know, they're going to have a beautiful day. Hopefully the weather hasn't sped up too much, because they're starting to add percentage possibilities of rain on Sunday. But to tell you the truth, it's not supposed to rain very much, and we have tents and things. So even if it rains a little bit, it's not going to ruin the wedding by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm not worried about that. And she'll have her shawl, so she will be nice and toasty warm. So that's that. So today will be bows and wedding book and visiting, because they're not leaving till after lunch. So we still have some visiting time, and it's beautiful out here. I think I'm going to bring the cushions out and invite everyone outside. Whether they come or not, I don't know. But Dennis will be here. I can tell, because he just sat right there. He's right there, listening to me. Anyway, so that's my day today. It'll be easy and calm. I will be doing a little video tomorrow. I'll be finishing up the book and figuring out what I want to do, and thinking about packing. We did get the dog food all organized, so we're ready to go. And then just text my brother and say, you know, we're coming in the afternoon on Saturday. If there's anything that can help you, let us know. Carol says hi. I don't know if you heard him. He said hi back. All right. So I'm going to go. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane. Oh, there go the girls. Bye-bye.